Hey y'all, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope you are doing well on tonight. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty, which I don't know why. I logged on early just to make sure that I can get everything together, and it seems like I'm still having some difficulty. Oh, there I am. Awesome. Hello. How are you all doing on tonight? Welcome to Sip and Say with Stephanie. How are y'all doing on tonight? I am doing amazing. I am a little tired tonight, hence my crackly voice. I just want to go in the living room, prop up, and rest. But tonight is Thursday, 6:30. Sip and Say with Stephanie. So we're going to share a little bit of information with you on tonight with Sip and Say with Stephanie on tonight. As always, welcome to our show. It's so good to be in your home, in your living room, in your car, in your bedroom, outside, wherever you might be at this time. It is always a pleasure to come in and chat with you about what's going on in my life and in what's going on in the world at large. I'm going to take a little sip. So tonight I'm sipping on Hawaiian punch and pineapple juice. So I usually like to make this mixture with some pineapples whenever I have company over. It's just a quick drink, tastes really good. So I decided to make some for myself instead of waiting for some guests to come over. So I have my sip and say tonight. Pineapple juice and Hawaiian punch is the easiest thing to make. Get you a jug of Hawaiian punch, 1 can of pineapple juice. I usually get some jars of pineapples because I like to have the chunks in. And just recently, when my family was here, I actually added mint leaves to the drink. And to me, it tastes good. So it was mint leaves, pineapple chunks, pineapple juice, and the Hawaiian punch. Mix it in, and it was really good, at least to me. So that's my sip on tonight. So how's everyone doing? How is life? What's going on with you? I am doing well. Again, just a little bit tired, but I am thankful. I'm so grateful to be alive. I'm thankful that my family is well. I'm thankful as I grew up hearing that the family circle has not been broken. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for activity of my limbs, for being in my right mind. I am so grateful today to God for all of my many blessings that He has bestowed upon me, for all the goodness He has allowed to come into my life with my job and my home and my car and friends and family, people I can count on, people who love me, people who I depend on, people who can come to me when they need a shoulder to cry on, an ear to hear, what's going on in their lives or just to get some advice. It is such a blessing to have people to do life with, to just do life with. I'm so excited, so thankful for everyone that the Lord has allowed to be in my life. I've even reconnected. Sometimes you fall out of connection with friends and sometimes family, but I've fallen out of connection with a good friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time, and we didn't necessarily, I should say we fell out of connection. We fell out of communication because her life got really busy. She had some, life situations going on. I had some life situations going on, and we hadn't talked in a while. And been a couple of months since we talked, but we reconnected and we're communicating more. And it's such a blessing to just have another friend, like another. We've always been friends, but be in closer connection with each other, closer communication with each other. So I'm excited about her, and we've been doing, getting together, doing a few things together. So I'm excited for that. And for all of my friends, those who I talk to often, those who I talk to every now and then, I thank God for you as well, because you have impacted my life. You have poured into me. Hopefully I have impacted your life and I have poured into you as well. So that's that. So you look, y'all. So before I get there, let me show you. I want to show you a few products. I don't know if you all know about Rucker Roots, but Rucker Roots is a hair care line. It was founded by two sisters, and they had a Independence Day sale. So I purchased some of their products. I have the detangling conditioner here, and I have I opened two detangling conditioners. I actually got another packet in there that has my detangling shampoo in it. So I have my detangling conditioners. I didn't even realize I had two of them. So got my two conditioners. I got my two shampoos. I have my GTC, which stands for turnip, ginger, turnip, and carrot. This is my mousse, my styling mousse. Haven't tried it yet. This is my styling mousse. And then this is my curl, I think it's called a curl enhancer. Curly cream. This is my curly cream. This is also a GTC, ginger, turnip, and carrot. It's my curling cream. It just came this week and I just washed my hair like the day before it came. So I haven't had an opportunity to use the Rucker Roots products. But by the time we have our next sip and say, it would have been a month. I would have been using the products for a month because I think I'm gonna wash my hair this weekend. So I'm gonna use their products to do it. So I'll let you know how it does on my hair texture. My hair texture, I love my hair texture. It doesn't, and I haven't had great success with a lot of products, and that's okay, which is why I'm so excited to try Rucker Roots and see how it works on my hair. I think it's going to work well if I do say so myself. I think it'll be just fine, but I will let you know. But get you some Rucker Roots. Go and check out their website, check out their story. They're two amazing ladies, and I'm so excited to support their small Black-owned business. And I also will put their website in the description. I also wanted to tell you about a lady that I met just maybe about 3 weeks ago. I was at a festival and she was there. Her pottery is Dolores Pottery. You can find her on Instagram. So I purchased this. I fell in love with this cup, y'all. Like, look at this detail. Like, I fell in love because it has, oops, my top came off. I haven't been able to secure, she had the top on so secure, but I haven't been able to secure it like she had it on. But it comes at the top. This is Dolores Pottery. I mean, I'm gonna take this off so you can see the details in her pottery. I love that this is a coffee cup where I can use it for my sip and say or for juice or whatever I want to use it for. But I'm gonna take this off because I want you all to see the detail in her cup. Her pottery is absolutely beautiful. Like, check her out, Dolores Pottery. She has some videos on YouTube where she's making her pottery. Look at how beautiful that is. Like, I fell in love with this design. She had so many good things, y'all. I wanted to get a lot more than just this cup, but I'll have to order some things from her later. But Dolores Pottery, check her out. Another Black-owned business, y'all. Let's support our Black-owned business. Like, we spend money everywhere all the time. Let's pour that money into our Black businesses. So check out Rucker Roots and check out Dolores Pottery. Okay, all right. So that's my I wanted to say service announcement, but it's not a service announcement. That is my I guess my announcements on the small Black businesses. I guess I got to get a cute little name for it so it sounds real good and fancy. But that's my introduction to two businesses. If you haven't heard about them, Rucker Roots and Dolores Pottery, check them out and support their business. I'm gonna take another sip. Oh, that is so good. All right, you all, look. So not yesterday, Tuesday, I had an appointment to go to the eye doctor. So y'all, I think I've told y'all this before, but I didn't realize that I should get my eyes checked. Like, I get my annual, physical, my mammogram and all of that. But I was at a Women's Health Awareness Day, and the optometrist that was there, I don't know if she was an optometrist or ophthalmologist, but she was asking me, when's the last time you got your eyes checked? And I was just like, probably a long time ago. And so she told me I should get my eyes checked regularly, just like I get my annual physical and all that. So for the last 3 years, I've been getting my eyes checked. That was about 4 years ago. So the first year, my eyes were doing fine. The ophthalmologist told me that once I hit 40 and I was already 40, but over 40, my eyes may start to weaken a little bit and I might have some farsightedness. She said it just comes with age. And I was like, okay. So I didn't get a glasses prescription, nor did I get a contact lenses prescription. She actually gave me some sunglasses with a really, what they call a baby prescription, just a little bit of medicine, barely enough for me to notice. I don't even really notice. So the next year I went in, it was a different ophthalmologist. And she gave me, it was a +1 something and bifocals glasses that she recommended. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and get them. Y'all, those things were so fuzzy. I wore them, I try to wear them for like periodically throughout the day because not the optometrist, but the optician said, well, just wear them and get, used to them. Those things were so blurry to me. It seemed like they were fine in the office, but it was just too much. So I hadn't worn them the last year. So when I went for my appointment, they were like, okay, so you've been wearing your glasses? I said, no, I haven't. And the lady who was checking my eyes did the first screening. She was like, well, thank you for being honest. I was like, well, I don't know another way to be. So when it was time for me to talk to the ophthalmologist, it was a third ophthalmologist. They don't keep the same ones there, but this was a different person. And he was saying, okay, you have glasses, you've been wearing glasses. I know I have not been wearing my glasses. I said, those things are fuzzy. I can't see with them. So I'm just going to use my natural good eyesight. And he was like, well, wait, he was like, once you turn 40, he gave me this spiel about the farsightedness and all that. And he checked my eyes, with the 3D screen and then with the machine that they use. He was like, your eyes shouldn't be this good over 40. I was like, oh, God is good, praise him. So don't you be telling me my eyes shouldn't be this good, right? But he did give me another little baby prescription. And I was like, well, you know what? I'll go ahead and get it. So I got the lens. I told them I wanted to keep the same lenses that I got last year, or the same frames that I got last year, but just give me the prescription with the lenses. So they should be in next week. And so I'm curious to know how I'm going to do with these new glasses. The prescription is barely enough for me to notice what it is. I think it's going to give me probably 0.000 of clarity. But the doctor or my ophthalmologist said I can wear them. He's like, do you spend a lot of time on the computer? I was like, yes, that's like my job. All day I'm on a computer screen. So he was like, well, you can just wear them, when you're on the computer screen or when you're looking at any screen, and then, you can take them off. It'll be fine. So I'm going to see how it does. It was very inexpensive to get them. So I was like, well, let's just go ahead and try and see what happens. So I'm actually excited. I wasn't excited last year about those bifocals because the doctor, because I asked him, I was like, why would she have given me a +1 over a +1 prescription? And he was like, well, maybe you came in, your eyes were tired, maybe something else was going on. Because he was like, a +1 was way too much for me. It was just way too much for my eyes. And I was like, thank you. That's why I didn't wear my glasses. So those lenses are still there, like they're in my room. So if I do need them a little bit later, look, they already paid for it, they mine. I'm gonna just slip them on into the frame or get some new frames that match, and it's all good. But I am really excited. I like the frames that I picked out last year. They look really good on me. And so I'm excited to see how this prescription is going to enhance, my vision and kind of maybe help me on the computer screen since my eyes are there. They're not computer screen glasses, they're actually prescription glasses, but he said it may support me, while I'm looking at the screen. So I think I'm going to use them for computer screen, phone, TV, just for everything, just to see how everything goes. All right, and so that was my update about me. Everything else is, seems to be going pretty good. My family's well, like I said earlier in the broadcast. My friends are doing well, and I'm thankful for that. So God is so, so good, and I'm so thankful for that. So you all, what do you think about the Delta variant? So I did not do any research about the Delta variant, but there has been an increase of cases in my state in North Carolina. We've had over 1,000 cases that of COVID that have come up recently. And so we've seen a spike in my state, and I know there's been spikes in other states. So I know that we can wear our mask if we're fully vaccinated. I'm still wearing my mask, y'all. I'm still wearing my mask at work, when I'm out about in the store, even sometimes when I'm outside and in a crowd, I have my mask on. Now, when I went to the festival a couple of weeks ago, I had my mask with me, but I only put it on just during certain times. Like when we went to get food, there was so many people over there standing in line getting food, and they were not observing 6 feet or 3 feet. They were up like behind me, just as if this pandemic had never happened. So I put my mask on for that reason, because I wanted to protect myself. Because just because you don't have on a mask doesn't mean you're fully vaccinated. I'm just saying what I'm saying. So when I'm in larger crowds, depending on how close I am to the individuals, will depend on if I were, but I got my mask up on me. Now I got my mask on me. It's usually right here, but for a quick, take out, put back in. But I'm still wearing my mask. What are you all doing? Are you all still wearing your mask? Are you nervous or anxious about the new variant and how it's going to affect us as we're moving forward? I was talking to a colleague of mine, and she was kind of concerned about flu season coming with the variant. And I'm just like, I know we never know how it's going to interact. Like, of course, last year, the flu, everything, it seemed to be okay. I don't remember there being any traumatic cases of the flu and the pandemic, interacting and having like a mass, amount of deaths anymore than it already was. But with the new variant, we're not sure how it might interact with flu symptoms. And so we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm staying prayed up, praying over my family, praying over my friends, that God will continue to strengthen our immune system so that it can fight off any infections, and just help us to keep ourselves healthy and to keep those around us. And so I want to encourage you to keep yourself healthy, whatever that looks like to you. Keep yourself healthy. Keep your family healthy. Try to be mindful of the people around you, and be safe as you're going out and about. As always, wash your hands. I mean, even before the pandemic, everybody should be washing your hands after you use the restroom, before you eat, after you sneeze, after you cough. Like, those are the times that you should be washing your hands. And throughout the day, depending on what your job is or what like kind of products you may be interacting with your hands. I work with children, so hand washing all day is a must. And I keep lotion close by, because with all that soap, dries out my skin. So I keep some lotion, at the desk. And so just practice safety. From here on out, if we ever do get rid of the pandemic or the virus, COVID-19, if we ever get rid of the variant, still keep practicing these safety measures. Keep washing your hands, keep covering your cough and your sneeze and your elbow. Still wash your hands. Use a Kleenex, wash your hands. Like, still practice these safety measures and teach these safety measures to your children. Make sure your children are washing their hands before they eat, after they eat, before a lot of times I wash my hands before I go to the bathroom, but you don't necessarily, have to teach your kids that, but make sure that they're washing their hands after they use the restroom. Even if it's a child in pull-ups and they're just pulling up the pull-up down and up, still practice washing your hands after you use the bathroom. So let's keep these safety measures up so that we can keep ourselves safe and our family safe and our community safe. All right. So you all, I haven't done much research on this topic, but these voting rights bills are out of control. They are out of control. I was doing a little bit of research, just a little bit. I haven't done any in-depth study into this, but I was checking out a few websites, and I came across the Brennan Center. It is the Brennan Center of New York University Law School. And they have some information about the voting rights that have been passed or that are on the table in various states. Depending on who you talk to, they will say that the voting laws, these new voting laws that are being enacted, makes voting safer, eliminates or at least decreases or eliminates fraud, and it makes it easier for people to vote. Someone else may say it's making it harder for people to vote, especially people of color, considering that there was an increase in voting this past presidential election. And there was, of course, quite naturally, there was an increase in mail-in voting because of the pandemic. There was still a lot of fear and anxiety and uncertainty in November around the pandemic, COVID-19. And so, of course, people were staying in for various reasons, for sickness, or because they had a known sickness and they didn't want to expose themselves to COVID-19, or caretakers who, caring for a loved one with sicknesses and they didn't want to expose them if they were out and about. So quite naturally, we're in a pandemic, people have increased their mail-in voting. Of course, this has certain people in our world nervous about voter fraud. I'm telling you, Republicans, well, that's part of their playbook. In their playbook, voter fraud is one of the tactics. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but the Republicans use a lot of scare tactics. And so voter fraud is one of the scare tactics that they use to intimidate or release fear into people of America. There are people voting, there are dead people voting, people are voting twice, lies, lies, and more lies. I found it quite interesting that and I hadn't planned to get on this, but I'm going to say it since I'm talking about voter law or voting laws. One of the interesting happenings around the presidential election and the cry for voter fraud is that there were parties, particularly the Republican Party, their members were wanting recounts in certain places. Those certain places were a high concentration of people of color voters that were people of color. I'm just going to leave that there. So let me share with you some of the effects on the voting laws that have been recently passed, again, in several states. So again, I'm taking this from the BrennanCenter.org. It is the Brennan Center of New York University Law Center. So the states of Alabama, Arizona, Georgia, Iowa, Kentucky, and Oklahoma have all passed bills that have shortened the window to apply for mail voting, for mail ballots, for your mail voting. Arizona has also shortened the deadline to deliver mail ballots. Arizona and Florida have made it harder to remain on the absentee voting list. In other words, they're trying to purge that absentee voting list. Georgia, Iowa, and Kansas have either eliminated or limited sending mail ballot applications to voters who do not specifically request them. So probably like you did last voting season, I did receive several mail-in ballots. I love to go to the polls. I just love to go to the polls on election day and cast my ballot. That's the way I love to do it. That's the way I've been doing it for many years. I like it that way, so that's what I do. Now, had the pandemic hit in like September or October or November, I probably would have utilized that mail-in ballot. But it hit in March, and so we, had our healthcare experts had some, additional information about being safe, and there were safety measures in place. So everything was good. I felt really safe at my voting place. I usually go there early. It's usually only me and one or two other people. Usually I'm the first one there because, like I said, 6:15, I'm at the poll waiting to get in. So it's just a few people there that were actually in line to vote. So I felt very safe. Everybody in the voting location had their mask on. There was sanitizer, so I felt really safe. So Georgia and Iowa, Kansas, I just mentioned that. Florida has instituted a bill, SB 90, to eliminate or limit sending mail ballots to voters who do not specifically request them. So they're another one that has done that. Oh, no, actually, this one is to eliminate or limit sending mail ballots to voters who do not specifically request them. So for Georgia, Iowa, and Kansas, theirs was to eliminate or limit sending mail ballot applications to voters who do not specifically request them. Yeah, so I got the application for that. Arizona, Florida, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, and Montana have restricted assistance in returning a voter's mail ballot. So in other words, if you have an ailing family member, there are some limitations on how you can assist them. Ain't that something? Because I'm thinking of a mailing, relative who may have arthritis in their hands, and they need some, hand over hand assistance in order to complete the ballot. Not that you're doing it for them, but you're just helping hold a pen or something steady. I don't even know if that's allowed or not, but so I don't know what kind of assistance is being restricted, because I really don't know what kind of assistance is being allowed as far as voters mail-in ballot, but whatever that is, assistance has been restricted. Told you I didn't do a lot of research, so that's something that you can research in your own state, because again, the laws may vary state to state. Florida, Georgia, Iowa, and Indiana have limited the number, location, or availability of mail drop-off boxes. Florida, Georgia, and Montana have tightened or imposed voter ID restrictions for mail voting. Arizona has two House bills, House Bill 1112 and House Bill 1244. Montana and Wyoming as well have tightened or imposed voter ID requirements for in-person voting. Iowa, Florida, Kentucky, and Utah have expanded their voter purge or risk faulty voter purges. Florida and Georgia have banned snacks and water to voters waiting in line. And there is some language about that, how that can be, how that can happen, like the water and the snacks. They have banned water and snacks, but there's some other language about how that might be able to happen. I did read that one a while ago, so I don't remember the language right off, and I didn't pull it in front of me, but I do remember there's some language around that. Montana has eliminated election day registration. Iowa and Montana have reduced polling place availability, the location and the hours. Last one, Georgia and Iowa have limited early voting hours. They have either limited early voting or have limited the early voting hours. Now, we live in the United States. Those who live in the United States, this is the United States of America. I live in the United States. These laws have been implemented in states in the United States of America. I don't fully understand why there are people in power in our country who want to make voting harder instead of making it more accessible to all. I mean, I know why, but it still boggles my mind. Let me just say it like that. I know why, but it still boggles my mind. Because it's just like, and for what? We're going to vote. I don't know if you remember the news reporting the long lines of people waiting 3, 4, 5, 6 hours to, and maybe in some places even longer than 6 hours to vote, because folks are serious about getting people out of office who do not mean the American people any good, getting their hind parts up out of office so that we can get some people in office that are going to work for the American people. So voting is a right, it's a constitutional right. We are going to exercise our right to vote, regardless of how hard you try to make it on us. We're going to vote. Hour, 2 hours, 3. I saw people standing in the rain in a line, standing in, I mean, not the third, fourth, fifth person, I mean, far back, standing in a line in the rain with their raincoats and their umbrellas, waiting in line to vote. So come hail, wind, or high water, we are going to exercise our right to vote, our fundamental right, our constitutional right to vote. And I'm gonna take a sip. Y'all, I'm telling you, I love all of the young people that have started nonprofits and that are running for office in order to make their city and their county and their state and this world better. A lot of young Black men and women have decided to become a state representative, a local representative, a national representative. And I appreciate you. I see you. I applaud you. I support you. I'm just so excited about the stir of action and the fire that I see in some of our young. I don't even have their names. I see their faces in mind, but I really don't have their names, on me right now. I probably should have them ready the next time in case they are in your state and you can vote for them, or they're in your state but you can vote for them, if you choose to. But you can have the information, in case you do want to vote for them. But I'm really excited about our future, the future of America. In some cases, it looks really bleak and dim. I'm gonna just be honest. And in other cases, like seeing all these young Black men and women that are putting their names on the ballots. So excited for you. Go for it. And I'm saying go for it in Jesus' name is how I feel. Is how I feel it. Go forward in Jesus' name. Whether you believe in Jesus or not, go forward in Jesus' name. And so I'm so excited again about what our future holds. I'm so excited about the young people who are aware of what's going on in our world and are taking an active part in changing things for the better of all people, not just one group of people, but for all people. I'm really excited. It gives me hope about our future for my younger cousins, for my nieces, for my nephews. So y'all keep fighting, keep pressing. I'm even seeing like different organizations that I've been following and getting more information about so that I can be supportive of them. And so I'm gathering information. I'm checking things out because there is a lot of movement going on around voter registration, around voting for the people who have the best interest of Black and Brown people in mind and the world at large. I'm seeing activists and participating in activities and events, usually online, but participating in them by watching, by taking in the information, by sharing the information with other people so that everybody, at least in my circle of influence, are going to be informed about what's going on because I do share information. We do have conversations. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen within the next few months and within the next year in different races, different election races throughout the different states, because what happens in all states, in each state, it affects all of us because sometimes one state is following another state and vice versa. And also make sure that you are paying attention to who your local officials are, your mayor, your sheriff, your judges, your city council, your county commissioners. Pay attention to who the people are at the local level that are affecting or that are making decisions and affecting your life on a daily basis. And then, of course, make sure that you're paying attention to your city and county officials, local officials, your state officials, and then we all are pretty much aware of what's going on at the national level with our senators and our House of Representatives. Oh, y'all, we in a time right now. We in a time, but hope. There is a hope and a future. There's a hope and a future. So let's keep pressing on. Let's keep educating our family and our friends. Let's get educated ourselves, and let's educate our family and friends. Let's talk to our family. Let's talk to our friends. Let's talk to our coworkers, talk to our community about what's going on in the world. You don't always have to have political conversations. Just talk about what's going on in the world. You're talking, you're opening up may help somebody else. I'm thinking about the COVID variant that's coming. There may be a coworker that you sit beside or that you work with that is anxious or nervous about it, and maybe they don't have anyone to talk to about it. You starting that conversation and sharing the accurate information that you're getting from official health departments and health our federal and national and local healthcare providers. Thank you. Our healthcare providers like the CDC, your local health department, um, the Surgeon General, all that information, that accurate information that's being given, you'll be able to share that with that anxious coworker, and hopefully it will ease their anxiety and ease their fears. So open up conversations with people, check in with your neighbors, check in with your family, check in with your friends, make sure that they're doing okay, make sure that, you know, that even with everything that's going on in the world, that they know that there's somebody that cares about them, that's concerned about them. So let's make sure that we're taking care of each other. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Self-care is so important. I'm going to do a sip and say on self-care. But self-care is so important. But taking care of our neighbors, our community, our family and friends is just important. So just make sure that you're taking care of others as you're taking care of yourself. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and love your neighbor as yourself. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to end Sip and Say with Stephanie. Make sure that you join me next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. I'm going to be reading excerpts from my book entitled Family Affairs. It'll be our 2021 book study with author Stephanie Humphrey. So if you haven't picked up Family Affairs, go to determinedpublishing.com and pick it up today. You all make it a great weekend. If you can get out and about, get out and enjoy this hot weather, right? You be safe, keep you some water, keep your little umbrella, little towel, little hat to keep you cool, but get out and enjoy the beauty that surrounds you. All right, take care.